Hello well-wishers and welcome to my channel Aspiring Minds. In today's video, we are going to discuss Francis Bacon's very interesting critical essay called Of Studies. So grab your virtual seats and let's begin. In this video, apart from the background and context of the essay, we will discuss them in 6 parts highlighted for you. I will discuss the line-by-line meaning of each of the parts of the essay, and at the end you have the 4 major takeaways from this essay. Francis Bacon was born in 1561. He was an English philosopher, statesman, scientist and an author. He served as the Attorney General and as Lord Chancellor of England. He is known for his contribution to the development of the scientific method and for his influential works on philosophy and politics. Of Studies was an essay published in 1625 as a part of his collection of essays. His essays cover various topics and are known for their brief, concise, and deep observations on human nature, society, and learning. Of Studies is one such essay where Bacon discusses the importance and benefits of education and learning. In this essay, Bacon argues that studies serve multiple purposes: delight, ornament, and ability. He emphasizes the importance of balanced study habits, cautioning against both excessive indulgence in studies and also just studying it on a superficial or outer level for decoration. The essay advocates for having a practical application of knowledge in judgment and business, and that is why we study. We don't study to mug up things and vomit it out in the examinations. No, you need to put it into your system so that you can apply that knowledge practically in life and its various aspects. Of Studies by Francis Bacon I have divided into these 6 parts for ease and convenience, that is the threefold purpose, balancing act, attitudes towards learning, reading and reflection, virtues of studies, and remedies for deficiencies. So let us now go on to discussing the line-by-line meaning of the essay, and I have divided it into a total of 6 parts for your convenience. The threefold purpose is what I call the first part. Studies serve for delight, for ornament and for ability. Their chief use for delight is in privateness and in retiring. For ornament is in discourse, and for ability is in the judgment and disposition of business. For expert men can execute and perhaps judge of particulars one by one, but the general counsels and the plots and marshalling of affairs come best from those that are learned. So what does this first part of the essay tell us? Let us understand. Now literally, Bacon begins by stating that studies serve 3 main purposes, that is delight, ornament and ability. He elaborates on each purpose, highlighting where each of these are going to be useful. He suggests that studying is not merely a means to gain knowledge, but it serves a broader purpose in human life. By delight, he means personal enjoyment which one finds in learning. Ornament refers to the enhancement of one's speech or discourse through knowledge. Once you are learned enough, over time you will be able to improve your speech, or not just speech in terms of the way you are delivering what you are saying, but also there will be weight and content in what you are talking, which is most evident in social settings. Ability pertains to the practical application of knowledge in judgment and business affairs. People run behind expensive MBA courses. What happens after that? You get a very high salary package generally. The IITians today we know are struggling for jobs, but in reality, what is it that they do? They have to apply whatever they have learned in the practical aspects of life. So Bacon implies that studies enrich various aspects of life and contribute to the personal development of an individual. Part 2 I call as the balancing act. To spend too much time in studies is sloth. To use them too much for ornament is affectation. To make judgment wholly by their rules is the humor of a scholar. They perfect nature and are perfected by experience. And then he goes on. So part 2, Bacon warns against spending too much time on studies and using knowledge only just for the sake of showing off and making judgments only based on theoretical rules. This is wrong. He instead argues that studies refine the natural abilities of people, yes, but must be complemented by practical experience. You need to have a balance between theory and practice. Sometimes, based on the practical scenario, certain rules, certain concepts need to be altered and readjusted. So Bacon cautions against the extremes of either excessive devotion to studies or using it just to make a display of your knowledge. He says no to it. Instead, he emphasizes the need for having a balanced approach to learning where theoretical knowledge is blended with practical experience, and he suggests that true wisdom comes from a combination of learning and real world application rather than mere bookish knowledge. Bacon over here observes that crafty individuals often disregard the value of studies while simple-minded people admire them. However, the wise individuals recognize the true utility of studies which is beyond immediate application. Now, what do I mean? Bacon basically highlights that there are different attitudes that people have towards learning. Some may look at it with doubt or skepticism, others will admire studies, and some others will put it to practical use. Crafty individuals are the ones who dismiss the value of formal education. Simple-minded people will, yes, accept studies, but what happens? They start idealizing and worshipping scholars without understanding the deeper purpose of studies. However, it is the last type, which is the wise individuals, who recognize that true freedom comes not just from knowledge itself, but you need to also know how to apply that knowledge in the world, and at the same time observe the world as you apply that knowledge and see what readjustments can be made for general betterment and your personal development. Part 3 I call reading and reflection. And here the lines which are underlined are some of my favorite lines. That is, read not to contradict and confute, not to believe and take for granted, not to find talk and discourse, but to weigh and consider. The second one, which I really love, are some books are to be tasted, others to be swallowed, and some few to be chewed and digested, and he goes on. And the last part which I have underlined, that is, reading maketh a full man, conference a ready man, and writing an exact man. So Bacon over here advises on the proper approach that one must take to reading, suggesting that one should not read merely to contradict people, to have a difference of opinion with people, or to believe blindly. Instead, it should give you the knowledge and the expertise to weigh and consider certain ideas that might come your way. He categorizes books based on their depth and recommends different reading approaches for each type. He advocates for having a critical thinking when you are reading. He encourages readers to engage with texts thoughtfully rather than just passively taking a book, accepting or rejecting the ideas which are written there. Put your full mind to whatever you are reading. His classification of books reflects the varying levels of depth and complexity in literature, suggesting that there are different types of books which exist that require different levels of attention and engagement from the reader. What a beautiful and apt way of putting these thoughts together. Part 5 I call the virtues of studies. Bacon over here discusses the benefits of different fields of study such as history, poetry, mathematics, natural philosophy, moral philosophy, logic, and rhetoric. He states that there is no particular way of being able to overcome and appreciate studies. He talks about the virtues of different fields of study and the impact it can have on the intellectual development of an individual. He therefore emphasizes the importance of a well-rounded, well-balanced education system which includes various disciplines. He suggests that studying different subjects not only broadens one's knowledge, but it also sharpens the different faculties of the mind. When you study literature, your imagination, your creativity gets enhanced. And on the other hand, when you study science or mathematics, your reasoning and your logical abilities get enhanced. So that is what is being suggested by Bacon over here. So you can imagine at that time also he understood how each subject is important in its own way. We sometimes disregard history, but it is something that connects us to the past. We disregard geography perhaps, but it is something which tells you the exact location of certain places and other such factual details, where you study the trends of wind, the trends of food patterns, crop patterns, which will not be possible without geography. So therefore there is the need to have a well balanced education system that will lead to a complete all round development of an individual. The last and final part, remedies for deficiencies. So if a man's wit be wandering, let him study the mathematics, for in demonstrations, if his wit be called away never so little, he must begin again. And that is how he goes on to conclude part 6, where he suggests remedies for various intellectual deficiencies, such as studying mathematics for wandering thoughts, studying schoolmen for lack of making decisions, and studying legal cases for when you face difficulties in order to argument and reason. So he proposes targeted studies which will serve as a remedy whenever you are feeling that you are intellectually weak. He implies that education can address and improve various mental faculties. His recommendations highlight the idea that learning is not just about gathering knowledge, but it is also about having the skills which can help you to overcome any kind of cognitive limitations that you might have. So let us quickly wind up this essay by understanding the 4 major takeaways from here. That is, first one is the purpose of education. Bacon discusses the benefits of education are multiple, including personal enjoyment, intellectual enhancement, and practical application. Secondly, the essay emphasizes the importance of a balanced approach to studying, cautioning against both excessive devotion to studies and superficial use of knowledge. Thirdly, he argues that true wisdom comes not only from bookish learning, but also from observation of the world around you and practical appearance and experience. And lastly, he gives a multidisciplinary approach, a multidisciplinary system which will help in all-round development. He categorizes knowledge into different types and suggests that each serves a specific purpose in the development of individuals and the society at large. So that's it from this video. I hope you liked it. Do hit the like button, subscribe to my channel for more such future updates. Thank you for watching. Bye.